somehow or another, the umpire associations decided to make me the assistant commissioner in 1985. I don't know. I mean, you know, that wasn't supposed to happen. How do you go from grunt to commissioner in 4 years? But the first thing I did when that happened was I was already a part or the head of the training committee. And when they made me commissioner, I said, okay, you know what? If I have that much power, then maybe I can push it a little bit. So they told me that nobody could work college baseball in the umpire association without paying their dues. And I talked to Bob because we knew each other. Because we worked Little League games together, you know, in 1980 and 1981. And I looked at him back in those days, and I said, this is the best umpire I know. Of course, how did that equate to NCAA Division I? I don't know. I mean, back in those days, I didn't know the difference. But here's the interesting thing. When I got elected as assistant commissioner, they let me do something that was unheard of. I was able to bring an umpire in the association in the first year in the Umpire Association in 1985 and go from rookie grunt to NCAA Division I baseball. And that was partially because they were desperate for commissioner, and partially because Bob Gustin was the one that I said needed to work at that level. And they agreed. And that was the beginning of a relationship that just blossomed. In 1985, we had 2 or 3 college contracts. In 1985, we had approximately 30 high school contracts. Today, in no small part to the efforts of people like Bob Gustin, and especially people like Bob Gustin, we have probably 150 college contracts, not 30. Because of the excellence of our umpire association and the product that we were able to put on the field. Because of Bob Gustin's contributions to that product and the training that we presented to those people. But it went more than that. It went more than that. We went from nowhere, where we had nobody representing this association in NCAA regionals, super regionals, World Series, postseason, even conference level tournaments. We got Bob Gustin into the CAA tournament, Division I conference tournament in the 90s. And lo and behold, when other umpires quit and said, there's no chance, we can't get any better, we won't go any better, and somewhere along the line, Bob Gustin got into the NCAA regionals. It was unheard of at that time. That was something that other people did, living in Texas, living in Georgia, living in Florida, living in Los Angeles. And somebody out of Northern Virginia, who are they, went into NCAA regionals. Imagine that. He led the way. He was the front runner in the charge that made Virginia now the #1 contributor to college baseball in professional or in NCAA regional participation in 2013. That is something that Bob contributed. He opened the door to people that never thought they had a chance, never thought that they had a prayer of going there. And now, everybody that works for us in NCAA regionals know that they can get there because he led the way. In the year that he got elected into regionals, only a couple of people got elected from the state of Virginia. That was amazing. That had never happened before. And now, from a national perspective, we lead the country in representation into NCAA regionals. Imagine that. Only 96 people in the entire country get to work regionals. And Bob's contribution to that was to open the door to those people that followed him, that were able to do what he did. The effect that he had on the training and the advancement of the umpires in Northern Virginia was amazing. He put us on the map. Bob Gustin